We wanted to reach out to everybody to say what our intentions were, why we were doing it, what we were not interested in doing and gossiping or telling anyone else's story. And Meghan was one of the first people to respond with a lovely text message saying that she'd love to come and help in any way possible.
She gave up the crown, claimed the spotlight, and now she might be trading her prince for a billionaire. Is Meghan Markle rewriting her fairy tale without Prince Harry? What's really going on behind the scenes? Stay tuned because this isn't just gossip. It's a royal plot twist you won't believe. What's going on, world? Let's talk about something you probably never expected to hear. Did you know Meghan Markle is a big fan of Jack in the Box? Yep, the Duchess of Sussex herself has a guilty pleasure that's as American as fast food. It's a fun little detail that somehow humanizes someone, often viewed as a royal headline more than a real person. But here's another twist. It's funny how people keep saying Meghan Markle, when that's not really who she is anymore. She's Sussex now. A mother, a wife. A woman who once said, "I share my name with my children." It sounds so simple, but it's deeply meaningful. That family name. It's more than a title. It's a bond, a legacy, and a symbol of the tight-knit life she's building beyond palace walls. Now, what if we told you Meghan might already be scripting her next act, and this time, Harry may not have a starring role? Whispers are swirling that her Hollywood comeback might be less of a fairy tale and more of a solo mission. With major deals slowing down and powerful connections fading, the spotlight isn't what it used to be. But don't expect Meghan to fade with it. She doesn't retreats. This could be the start of something much bigger. Maybe a new man, maybe a whole new empire. And as for Prince Harry, some say this story might end with him returning to England, humbled and heartbroken. But when he does, the belief is that his brother, Prince William, will be waiting not with judgment, but with a quiet gesture of grace. "Welcome home," he might say. Because for all their differences, that's what family does. Meanwhile, Meghan's career seems to be under serious pressure. The numbers are in for her Netflix series with Love, Meghan, and let's just say they're not impressive. According to Netflix's semi-annual viewership report, the show landed at number 385. Pulling in just 5.3 million views since its March debut. For someone often described as a global media icon, those are underwhelming stats, especially for an original series. Pop culture isn't being kind either. In a recent episode of Family Guy, Meghan and Harry found themselves the butt of a pretty savage joke. The scene compares their relationship to some of history's worst moments. Stewie even lists their marriage right after the Crusades and Hitler. Cruel, definitely. But it reflects just how far public opinion has tilted. Then there's the body language everyone's obsessing over. In one clip, Meghan glances at Harry, and suddenly he's fidgeting with his scarf like it's a lifeline. Viewers are asking, does this feel genuine? Does it look like love? Or something else entirely? The internet is watching every glance, every gesture. And yes, the scooter guy showed up again. You know, the one that always seems to pop up around them. He's back. But here's the thing, where are the paparazzi? You'd expect a swarm. Instead, there's nothing but Meghan and Harry scanning the scene, maybe even hoping for a flash or two. When Meghan asks, "Do we have the scooter guy?" her voice drips with sarcasm. And when they confirm he's there, is that disappointment on her face? It's subtle, but it's there, unless we're all just seeing what we want to see. Let's not forget how this all started. Meghan Markle didn't just marry a prince, she catapulted from cable television to the highest echelons of British royalty, a biracial American actress joining the centuries-old monarchy. That wasn't just a love story, it was history. That wedding, the world watched like it was the Super Bowl of fairy tales. She walked down that aisle, said "I do," and for a moment, it felt like anything was possible. From Hollywood scripts to royal scrolls, she made the leap. But what happens when the cameras dim and the crown doesn't shine as bright? Stay tuned, because Meghan's next chapter is coming and no one knows exactly how it ends.
The world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and
so
loves it.
It's so funny too that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now. You have kids and you go, no, I share my name with my children.
Yes.
And that feels so, I didn't know how meaningful it would be to me, but it just means so much to go, this is our family name, our little family name.
Well, now I know.
But that fairy tale, it unraveled faster than you could say palace etiquette. Behind the polished magazine covers and meticulously posed public appearances, the reality was far messier. Meghan didn't just marry Prince Harry, she married into a centuries-old institution with unspoken rules, rigid tradition, and little patience for outsiders. This wasn't Hollywood, where individuality gets celebrated. This was Buckingham, where even your nail polish has to play by protocol. Meghan showed up with red carpet energy, but the firm was more interested in whether she had a hat on and if it was the right kind of hat. The media caught on. And the shift was brutal. One minute she was the darling Duchess, the next she was splashed across tabloids as public enemy number one. The British press went from fawning to ferocious with whiplash speed. And when it got unbearable, Meghan and Harry made the boldest move a royal could make. They traded tiaras for palm trees, swapped castles for California, and pieced out on the entire monarchy. Imagine giving up royalty not because you had to, but because the energy was just that toxic. Fast forward a few years, and things haven't exactly played out the way Meghan likely envisioned. She had plans, big ones. Think global influence, Oprah-level legacy, empowering media ventures. But Hollywood didn't exactly roll out the red carpet. Turns out, the entertainment world doesn't care much about tiaras unless you're bringing ratings. And Meghan's projects, they didn't deliver. Spotify axed her podcast faster than a skip button. Netflix buried her content so deep it barely registered, and her so-called media empire, more whisper than roar. There was this whole effort to rebrand Meghan as a voice for the modern woman. Polished, powerful, inspirational. But behind the curtain, insiders whispered that her brand was struggling on life support. Even and honestly, it's hard to disagree. Prince Harry and Meghan once declared they were leaving royal life to focus on service. Yet here we are, she's promoting artisanal jam, and he's starring in documentaries about polo that no one's really watching. They wanted to be serious players. Instead, they've become the punchline. Then came the awkward attempts to seem relatable, like slicing fruit on Instagram while living in a multi-million-dollar estate. That viral pineapple video. The internet tore it to shreds. Meghan's brand, which was meant to represent the empowered, modern woman, somehow drifted into self-parody. Less icon, more internet meme, and poor Harry, once the bold, rebellious royal, now appears more like a background character in Meghan's media journey. He gave up everything. His military roles, royal titles, even his homeland. And for what? Therapy quotes and awkward podcast cameos. He doesn't say he regrets it, but sometimes, it sure looks like he does.
Harry and Meghan Markle have been brutally mocked, Kinsey, in a new Family Guy episode in which the characters Stewie and Brian are meeting the American author Mark Twain. I suppose it's historical. Brian says, doesn't history pretty much suck? The Crusades, Hitler, and then Stewie says Prince Harry marrying Meghan Markle. It's a bit of an unfair comparison, perhaps.
And then it cuts to Prince Harry, who goes, again? Because this is the second time Family Guy has taken.
So, here's where we are. Prince Harry used to embody everything the royal brand stood for: duty, honor, legacy. He wasn't just another royal in a tailored suit. He was the queen and country guy, a veteran, a purpose-driven figure, with the world's respect. But now, that version of Harry seems to have quietly vanished. These days, he's drifting through Montecito, popping up in docuseries, giving glossy house tours, and looking, well, kind of out of place. Too many. He looks like a man no longer writing his own story but acting in someone else's script. And people are noticing. The spark is gone. That fire that once made him the most relatable royal has dimmed, replaced by a kind of quiet confusion. Could he return to the UK alone? That's exactly what Princess Diana's former butler, Paul Burrell, predicts. And he's not pulling punches. In his view, Harry has woken up to the reality of his situation and sees Meghan for what Burrell claims she truly is: strategic, calculating, and deeply invested in the value of their partnership financially and socially. According to him, Harry is sticking around not for love, but for his kids. He wants to be present in Archie and Lilibet's lives, and that, more than anything else, is keeping him tethered to a life he may no longer want. Burrell envisions an emotional ending, a royal homecoming, where Harry, weary and broken, returns to England and is met not with scorn, but with his brother's embrace. Welcome home, William might say. Because, at the end of the day, that's who William is. But Meghan, she's not slowing down. Not officially, anyway. Still, the whispers in Montecito are getting louder. While Harry fades from headlines, Meghan is showing up at private dinners, luxury retreats, and charity galas where the guest list is curated and the perfume smells like generational wealth. These aren't events for the cause, they're networking, playgrounds for the elite. Tech moguls, hedge fund titans, and jet-set financiers with zero interest in crowns but plenty of curiosity about influence. Meghan's making moves in those rooms. And now, rumors are swirling about a certain Middle Eastern billionaire who's been seen with her. Someone who reportedly has a soft spot for women with fame and a story. Some say it's just gossip. Maybe, but Meghan doesn't go anywhere by accident. If she's there, she's building something. Because if there's one thing she's proven, it's that she knows how to pivot. From actress to duchess, duchess to activist, and now, possibly, to billionaire arm candy. It sounds wild, but it fits her pattern. Meghan's not in survival mode. She's in reinvention mode. And love her or loathe her, the woman plays the long game like few others can.
Kids that's fun, so many good songs, and I've become that mom where I'm like sitting around with friends and I start singing like, Tyrannosaurus, that's the chorus, Tyrannosaurus. I was like, what am I singing? Oh my gosh, I'm singing Storybook. I'm singing Storybooks. I am not singing Beyonce in that.
And I think what's happened is she's come into the royal family and this archaic system has tried to control her and say, you will do this, you will do that, you will not go here, you will not go there, and she's just said no.
Because in Meghan's world, one thing matters above all else, relevance. And when the spotlight starts to flicker, she doesn't shrink into the shadows, she grabs the pen and rewrites the entire script. That's exactly what we're witnessing. Now, her public appearances. No longer casual or spontaneous. Gone are the cozy Instagram posts with teacups and soft captions. In their place, we're seeing a carefully curated presence, no wasted moments, no accidental sightings. This isn't about being seen everywhere. It's about being seen in the right places, by the right people. The selfies are gone. The feel-good fluff, toned down. Instead, it's all about the off-camera meetings, the quiet but powerful networking, plays the power lunches behind closed doors. Her circle has tightened, her moves have sharpened, and if you think she's fading, you're not paying attention. Meghan isn't disappearing. She's strategizing. And every silence, every absence, is just a pause before the next big reveal.
Communications Tobin Andre sitting down in the open with Meredith Maines, who is Harry and Meghan's right-hand woman, and their new London, UK-based PR, Liam Maguire. Now, sources close to Harry tell me they are very frustrated that this was leaked, this meeting was leaked. But I would wonder, it's a big coincidence that a paparazzi photographer just happened to be there to capture the moments that one of the King's senior aides and Harry's two senior aides were speaking to one another in London. Now, Meredith, I knew, was in London anyway, because she was having various meetings with Harry's charity work and all the rest of it. Funnily enough, I wasn't told about this meeting with Tobin from Buckingham Palace, but what this does show is there is some kind of channel of communication starting to open up. Harry's team would not have taken that meeting without Harry's blessing. The King's team would not have taken that meeting without the King's blessing. So something is...
This has always been Meghan's game. She doesn't chase fame. She designs the spotlight from scratch. Every handshake, every fleeting exchange at a black tie gala, it's not just a moment. It's a move. A calculated step in a larger strategy. And lately, that strategy looks less like a love story and more like a playbook for power. Meghan's not lingering at Netflix parties or red carpet events anymore. She's positioning herself at tables where real influence lives. Think private dinners in hidden estates with Silicon Valley disruptors, legacy bankers, and the kind of billionaires who take private jets to brunch. That's the league she's operating in now. But while she's climbing up the next ladder, her career's foundation seems to be cracking. The numbers don't lie. With Love, Meghan, her latest Netflix series, didn't land, it flopped. Netflix's own data shows the series ranked a shocking number 385. Bringing in just 5.3 million views since its March debut. For someone touted as a global superstar, those numbers are embarrassingly low. By comparison, Suits, the legal drama that made her a household name, pulled nearly double the views and ranked far higher. For a platform like Netflix, which invested a reported $100 million into Meghan and Harry's content ventures, this isn't just underperformance, it's a branding crisis. The bigger issue, Hollywood's starting to notice. For a while, Meghan and Harry had the cachet. Having the royals, however loosely defined in your contact list, was a win for elite liberal circles, a trophy of progressive virtue and celebrity fusion. But now, that novelty is wearing off. Even with friends like Netflix, Co-CEO Ted Sarandos backing them. There's only so long a platform will support content that underdeveloped, and Meghan's once commanding presence. It's beginning to echo more than resonate. Then there's the rumor mill, and it's turning faster than ever. A certain tech billionaire's name keeps surfacing. No red carpets, no paparazzi storms, just 2 private sightings at ultra-exclusive events and a whole lot of unanswered questions. Her team hasn't even offered a token no comment. That silence, it's loud. Some are calling it coincidence, others are calling it preparation. Meghan doesn't wander into rooms by accident. If she's seen somewhere, it means something. And in this case, it might just mean she's scanning for her next chapter, one with deeper pockets, stronger connections, and a whole new stage. Back in Montecito, the tension is rising. Harry, once the rebel royal with global goodwill and charm, now looks like a man slowly disappearing into the margins. He's still out there smiling for the cameras, standing by Meghan's side, ducking tough questions, playing the supportive husband. But insiders say that act is fraying. The mask is slipping. Sources close to the couple describe him spending more time alone, nights in the guest house, solo hikes in the hills, long silences behind mansion gates. He's searching for peace. And peace doesn't live in PR strategy meetings or carefully staged lifestyle videos. Meanwhile, Meghan's image, once aspirational, is starting to feel like an awkward costume. A video of her slicing fruit in a designer kitchen went viral, not because it inspired anyone, but because it felt so out of touch. Viewers mocked the attempt at relatability, pointing out the disconnect between her ultra-luxury lifestyle and her Pinterest core content. We don't want to see a duchess with a $70,000 ring pretending her kitchen looks like our rental apartment. One critic joked, "People want aspirational, not cosplay." And when the image doesn't match the message, credibility collapses. And here's the deeper divide. Harry and Meghan want entirely different lives. Harry wants simplicity, family, peace, maybe even purpose. He wants less performance, more authenticity. Meghan, on the other hand, thrives on momentum. She needs traction, headlines, power moves. Her big projects, the podcast, the Netflix docuseries, haven't landed the way she hoped. And Hollywood, the same industry she once aimed to conquer, is quietly moving on. Even her inner circle seems to be pulling back. Oprah has gone quiet. The Obamas, absent. Tyler Perry, who once sheltered them when they fled the monarchy, now seems to be offering distance instead of support. When your phone stops ringing, it says everything. The speculation around a separation isn't rooted in scandals or drama. It's not about screaming matches or cheating accusations. It's something more subtle and maybe more dangerous. It's silence, distance, misalignment. Meghan's team is already spinning the next rebrand, and Harry's reportedly asking for breathing room, no papers filed, no public split. But the vibe, off, deeply off. Those closest to them whisper that Meghan's already thinking about her next act. But for her, it's not a breakup, it's a pivot. She doesn't see endings, she sees transitions. The Duchess chapter is closing. What comes next? A solo reinvention. It's important to remember that Meghan didn't walk into the royal family naive. She was in her mid-30s, a working actress, previously married, and well aware of how image, narrative, and control work. So when she encountered an archaic institution built on rules she didn't agree to follow, she said no. No to the silence, the protocols, the limits. And that's when the friction started. Meghan never wanted to be a background character in someone else's story. She wanted to write her own, and she still is. The question is, at what cost, and who gets left behind? Meghan Markle is making 2025 her year, or at least, that's the goal. She's just announced the rebrand of her American Riviera orchard business. Now named as Ever. The reveal, as usual, came via a curated Instagram drop. The brand, built in partnership with Netflix, still features her signature fruit preserves but now expands into broader lifestyle territory. Meghan explained the name herself, a phrase that means as it's always been, tying it back to her early TIG blog days, when she leaned into cooking, crafting, and gardening. But this isn't about jams and jars. It's about narrative control, and if you look closely, you'll see how tightly she's gripping the reins. Even her daughter, Princess Lilibet, is part of the brand rollout. In a photo on the As Ever website, Meghan and 3-year-old Lily run hand-in-hand across a sun-drenched garden. It's sweet, yes, but calculated. Because behind the scenes, the cracks are showing. Meghan's solo appearances are increasing, while Harry skips events that were once non-negotiable. and when they are seen together, the chemistry that once sold a fairy tale feels off. His smiles feel forced. Her body leans out. That natural warmth they once used as currency, it's gone. Cold. Financial pressure is reportedly building. Their Montecito lifestyle doesn't come cheap, from security to staff to PR teams. The costs are sky high. Harry's inheritance wasn't built for Hollywood burn rates. Meghan may have dreamed of castles, but what she got was a mortgage, and a never-ending scramble to keep the brand afloat. And when money gets tight, relationships feel it. Now the whispers are growing louder. Industry insiders say she's plotting her next solo era, a full lifestyle brand relaunch, maybe even a return to acting, but the juiciest rumor. She's eyeing a new high-profile relationship. Not for love, for leverage. Because in Meghan's world, a billionaire isn't just a man. He's access, he's visibility, he's momentum. And right now, Meghan needs all three. That familiar Meghan sparkle isn't enough anymore. Her new Netflix show with Love, Meghan landed at number 385 in the streamer's own rankings. With just 5.3 million views, shockingly low for a heavily backed original. For context, Suits, the show that gave her initial fame, ranked number 151 and scored over 9 million. Even the soap commercial story, the one she's told over and over, is being debunked in polite Hollywood shade. Brooke Shields called her out. Mindy Kaling awkwardly played along. The message: Hollywood's done pretending, and when Hollywood stops pretending, it gets cold. The phone stops ringing. The invitations dry up. Oprah silent. The Obamas gone ghost. Even Tyler Perry, once a safe harbor for the couple, has pulled back. Meghan's not in the inner circle anymore. She's orbiting it, strategizing, planning the next entrance. Every quote, every appearance, every outfit is part of the rebrand. This isn't retreat, it's reinvention. Meghan 2.0 is in the works, and she's going sharp, cold, and controlled. Think major fashion collabs, carefully staged philanthropic stunts, maybe even another tell-all, but the real play. The billionaire chase. The name floating around now. Elon Musk. No proof, no photos, just chatter. But Meghan's team knows the game. In this town, suggestion is sometimes more powerful than substance. The idea of Meghan and Elon in the same room is enough to restart headlines. Enough to manufacture buzz, and buzz is currency. Because Meghan's brand, the one she built on fairy tales, feminism, and a dash of rebellion, has taken too many hits. First the podcast flop, then the overproduced cooking show, now a Netflix series no one's watching. She's losing ground, fast. And poor Harry. He's fading with her. The man who gave up everything, family, status, the crown, is now a footnote. He still shows up for charity events, still smiles for the camera. But the paparazzi aren't chasing him anymore. And the one thing Meghan never wanted to become is what Harry already is, forgettable. He's reportedly pulling away, spending nights in the guest house, taking solo hikes, trying to find peace in a world that's all noise. Friends say he's still holding on, still hoping they can make it work. But Meghan, she's already writing the next chapter.
What? We were just talking. And then
He what?
Mike, please. I'm so sorry. Mike, no, please. Please. It didn't mean anything.
Because she doesn't see this as an ending. She sees it as a transition. The Duchess era is closing. The lifestyle mogul era begins. New photos, new friends, maybe even a new ring. The ultimate irony. Meghan left the royal family to escape control. Now she's in a different palace, ruled by algorithms, followers, and billionaire influence. And to stay queen in that world, she's willing to trade anything, even Harry. So, is Meghan done playing Duchess? Or is this just another calculated move in a much bigger game? Is Harry a casualty, or a man still hoping for a happy ending that's no longer being written for him? And the real question, would you trade a prince for a billionaire? Sound off in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell, because if you think this royal chaos is over, trust us, the tea is just getting started.